Hey everybody. So it says I'm live, but I have no camera and I cannot explain. So I am so sorry. I do apologize, but I have really amazing content today that things I want to talk to you about. So I'm hoping you stick with me through my technical difficulties. So today, my question for you is, are you struggling with deciding when to hire help? And when you're ready, how do you know who to hire? So, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. My name is Kelley Brubaker. I am a business coach and a CPA. My firm is Profit, Scale, Thrive, where we guide attorneys to overflowing profits, scaled growth, and thriving lives. I've been serving law firms for over a decade, which is how I know your struggles and exactly how to fix your firm. So, today I want to talk about when to hire and who to hire. It's a huge stressor when you're a solo attorney trying to shatter the revenue ceiling you've hit. You know what I mean? When you're making decent money to live on, but not enough to hire help. So think of companies like Amazon that started in Jeff Bezos' garage. Jeff literally started it all by himself, but it took off so fast that he quickly hired people to help him. The sheer volume of sales forced him to hire people, anybody, to fill those sales orders. But it's not always like that for us as a professional service provider, because we just can't hire any warm body off the street and hope they can perform a routine task like stuffing boxes day in and day out. For those of us in the professional services industries, it's more of the fable of the frog sitting in the pot on the stove. A frog will voluntarily jump into a large pot of water while it's warm, enjoying a nice, relaxing swim until it's too late. It's now boiling in the blink of an eye. But how does the fable of the frog help you? Well, by showing you how quickly your firm can go from enjoyable to unmanageable in the blink of an eye. And while I hope you always maintain control over your firm, if you're losing control or you think you're at the start of losing control, please stick with me today. You're going to want to hear this. So let's say, in terms of the fable, your calendar is the pot of water. And sorry to make you be the frog here, but I've watched enough Disney movies to know that frogs are princes in disguise. So I promise everything's going to turn out okay for you. But do me a favor and pull up your calendar right now. How jammed packed is it with calls and meetings, depots, filing deadlines, and court appearances? Is there adequate time to get your casework done? What about recruiting or onboarding new clients, networking events, or your CLE? So the Thomson Reuters Institute published a survey. It's called the 2022 State of U.S. Small Law Firms. And it was a survey that I believe, if I remember right, it took 3 years for them to complete. And one of the questions asked, what was the biggest challenge small firms face? The top answer, with 56%, was spending too much time on admin tasks, not enough time practicing law. And so notice at this point, I haven't even mentioned personal commitments. Now, I'm all about work-life balance for real, and not the made-up line of BS that firms try to sell the recruits. I mean actual, real balance. And that balance is whatever you define it to be, not what I make it to be or somebody else makes it to be. Your work-life balance. So I don't often talk about this with everybody, and I actually have people I know in real life that don't know this, but I'm a single mom of 2 kids, and I own 2 other businesses in addition to this one. And I don't share that to brag or for sympathy or empathy or compassion. I share it to let you know I get it. My calendar screams at me every now and then too. But I want to share with you today how I manage it all, really how I free up my calendar. And it's not a miracle, but it works. I have a process that I go through once a quarter, or even more often if I'm starting to stress out over my calendar. And I start by tracking time, which you've already got a leg up on a lot of different industries. Although I primarily work with attorneys, eventually, or every once in a while I work with somebody in a different industry, and everybody balks at this one. But since attorneys bill by time, you've got a lot of this already going. But I know from my time spent working with attorneys, you don't track every single thing you do during the workday. And so that's where this is a little bit different. So for 1 week, I log everything I do at work, literally every single thing. And I note how long it took me to complete it. And after the week is over is where the magic happens. So I'm a noob on YouTube, if you haven't figured out, since I can't even get my camera on, but I have no idea how to share my screen during a live either. So I put a link to my file that you can use. You can download it. It's in the description to this video. It's not even gated. Just go to the link in the description and download it. And hold on to your hats about how sexy this is. I call it my free up your workday calculator. Okay, so I hear you asking, how does tracking my time tell me who to hire and when? Okay, so that's the magic of this next step. For every task you log, you're going to ask these questions. So do your time tracking, the weekends, come back, either do this over the weekend or, first thing Monday morning. Go back through every single thing that you did. Ask yourself these questions, and you're going to mark this right into the log on each task. Do I like doing it? How much per hour would I have to pay someone to do this for me? Is this task billable or non-billable time? And answer this one honestly. What is the minimum level of experience needed to complete this task? Can a paralegal do it? Can another admin do it? Or does it need to be done by an attorney? And I guarantee if you answer that you have to do every task that's on your list, that's wrong. Although I will tell you most of the time there's no wrong answers. But the point is to start figuring out what to delegate and to who you're going to delegate stuff to. So based on these answers, you're able to easily decide what to keep doing yourself and what to delegate. And the question of who to hire is answered by the minimum experience needed question. And seriously, if you hate doing a task, that's like the first thing that you need to delegate, unless it's something like CLE that it's illegal to delegate. So don't take my quote out of context there. But if you hate doing it, the general rule, delegate. So I'm here to tell you that being self-employed does not mean that you do everything. It's a trap I fell victim to for a very, very long time. So I know the pain. And in fact, doing everything yourself has real costs beyond money. It costs you your time freedom. It costs you peace of mind, energy, the ability to be there for your loved ones, and more. And I admit I can't help you quantify those costs for you, but I only mention them now as things to consider. Okay, so how my spreadsheet helps is because it highlights the tasks you're doing that if you hired someone to delegate it to, you'll end up making more money. Let me repeat that. You will end up making more money. By freeing up your time, you can now do a different billable task for a client that will generate more than enough revenue to cover the rate to hire someone to do the task you delegated. But here's the other part. You're going to have tasks that have to be done by an attorney, but there will be plenty of things that can be done by a paralegal or a legal secretary too. And I promise this exercise will stretch your mind a bit as you have to let go of the reins a little, but the output gives you a job description as well as a ballpark on rates you can afford to pay. And it will also let you know if you have enough work to hire somebody full-time or part-time. So just imagine how Amazon would have burned up in flames if Jeff Bezos tried to manage the entire operations without employees. Jeff had faith that he could build something amazing, and look what Amazon has become. Okay, as a side note, maybe it's become a little bit too much, but you can do the same with your firm. The sky's the limit. And I know it's 2023, and no, I'm not smoking crack. I get the labor issues occurring right now. So I'm not saying it's going to be a quick and easy thing to fix this issue. I'm telling you that I can help you easily figure out who to hire, what you should have them doing for you, and about how much it will increase your bank account. So get creative with hiring help. Reach out to attorneys you know. See if you can hire them on an of-counsel basis. And there's enough semi-retired attorneys who have capacity and desire to work as well as attorneys who are making the leap from a large firm to a solo practice who don't have a large enough client base to financially support them yet. For staff, they're out there, I promise. There are retiring lawyers who have paralegals and other support staff who are not ready to retire. They're already trained. There are freelance paralegals. There's entire companies that's all they have is freelance paralegals. So get the security you need in place to protect your sensitive data and start finding the help. And look, I know how scary it is to hire somebody, whether it's as an employee or on a contract basis. But here's the thing. Not taking action on this is horrifying. I mean, it will mean never breaking through your current annual revenue plateau. And I love my lazy dog, but it means working like a dog until you retire. Rarely being able to take a vacation, at least not an enjoyable one, or not being able to simply unplug and leave the office for half a day to see your kids' school play. So what questions can I answer for you about this? Whether you're watching live or on the replay, you can enter them in the chat and I will monitor the chat to answer them. And I'm sure one of the top questions is how to find the money to pay for help. And I promise that's a topic for another week, which while I mention it, if there's another topic, if there's any topic that you want me to talk about in a future episode, I feature one topic a week. Drop it in the comments below. And lastly, don't forget, profit is something you intentionally plan for in the beginning. It's not a potential bonus at the end of the year. If you need support on this, feel free to comment below or DM me with the word calendar, and we can schedule a time to talk about how we might be able to support you. Also, if you know an attorney who might need to hear this information, please share this video with them or tag them below. Just checking the chat really quick. So that's all that I have for today. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you have an amazing Wednesday. Bye.